What's up, guys? It's Kit Dale from kitdaletraining.com. I just had PRP treatment and I want to tell you how that went and what I think you should do to avoid having the same problem as what I have had. So, PRP is basically where they take a whole vial of your blood, they spin it really fast, they let all the clear stuff come to the top that heals your body, and they inject it directly into the injured areas that your body's no longer repairing. Now, I've got a tear in my labrum in my shoulder. I've got tendonitis and tendinosis on 3 of the main muscles that keep the shoulder pulled back. And I have also tendonitis and tendinosis in my elbow. So I needed to have them healed. I've had it for like about 2 years roughly, and it's just gotten predominantly worse. Now, it should take about 4 or 5 days of me not doing anything for me to tell you how it goes. So I can't give you an update now until that time, but they are very confident it should do really well. The tear in the labrum is probably the trickiest part. If that doesn't get healed with the PRP, then we're going to have to look at stem cell treatment or surgery. Hopefully not. Now, these injuries are all from one thing. Even my knee reconstruction was all from one thing, my ego. And this is something that I've really learned to deal with now, but when I was like white, blue, purple, and brown, I really didn't have control of it. And it's really cost me a lot now. And what I mean is not tapping to things, being stubborn, being belligerent. I remember hurting my elbow. I remember being in an armbar, and the guy was a blue belt while I was a purple belt, put me in an armbar, and I'm thinking, I can't tap to this blue belt because I'm a purple belt, and then it looked embarrassing. So I just held on as long as I could, and then I get a pop, 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 and I did pull my arm out, but now, years later, it's cost me thousands of dollars to fix it, and I've had so many problems. Same thing with my shoulder. I was in a Kimura and an omoplata on 2 different times where I did not want to tap, and then boing, 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 I pulled little ligaments, slight little tears, things that I should have just tapped to when I'd been beaten. And it's too often that we get into the situation, especially in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where the game is to submit our opponents. Yet we look for little loopholes in that game, thinking, well, you know what, if I don't tap, then, regardless of my arm getting broken or my elbow getting popped, he didn't beat me. But no, you got beaten. Okay, you're just kind of looking for loopholes and little ways to soothe your own ego to make yourself feel better. You should have tapped. The whole goal in jiu-jitsu is get your opponent to a point where they should tap so they don't get any kind of injury or choke them out. And that's why chokes are always better, because it doesn't matter. You can be belligerent, you're going to go to sleep, which is what happened to me today when I was getting my PRP treatment, which I'll tell you about in a second. But my main point is, understand that jiu-jitsu is a process. There is a long game to it. Don't get too caught up in the small, short game of, I can't tap to this guy. It's going to be embarrassing. People are looking at me. I'll tell you one thing I've told so many people don't really give a shit whether you get tapped, whether you lose, all that kind of stuff. Everyone is so focused on their own life and what they're doing. They don't care what happened to you. I've seen this in competition where people are so stressed and nervous about competing because they don't want to lose. They've developed an identity as a winner, and they don't want to shatter that identity because they think it's going to change the way people perceive them. And they think that if they lose, that people are going to think they're the worst, or if they win, they're going to think they're the best. And this doesn't work that way. People have their own agendas and their own problems, and you are a little part of that, okay? So never worry about that kind of shit. Just understand that there are going to be times where you need to learn, you're going to get tapped, and you need to learn from those things, and just allow yourself time to tap, start again, and then you won't have this issue. For me, there was competitions where I knew, well, if I don't tap now and I get out, I can win. And it's like, yeah, I won those competitions because of that. But now here I am later on spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to repair the problems that I caused through not tapping. So I'm going to tell you now, from my experience, tap. Don't worry about that. Don't get stuck into that egotistical bullshit. Just tap, live to roll another day, because your body's going to thank you in years to come. So anyway, back to today, what happens was I was getting the PRP treatment, and they'd done the shoulder, and it required about 8 different needles, putting the PRP in different areas of the shoulder. And then they went to the elbow. Then during the elbow, they had to put it right into a joint, which hurt a lot more than my shoulder. And while they were doing it, I could feel a whole lot of pressure coming down the top of my forearm. And then I started feeling nauseous. I'm thinking, fuck, am I feeling nauseous because of the pain? And I hate feeling nauseous, and it started getting worse and worse. And I was thinking, don't tell me I'm going to be sick here. Then I started tasting something in the back of my mouth, which reminded me of when I used to go to the dentist, and you would get the same taste from a local anesthetic. And I'm tasting, and I'm thinking, I said to the guys, I'm like, is this right? I can taste like something like metallic in the back of my mouth. And then suddenly I went from 0 to 10 in lightheadedness in about 2 seconds. And I'm thinking to myself, they've put nothing into my body that should make me feel this way. So I think I'm having a panic attack. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to have a full-blown panic attack in here. And I don't know what I'm doing. This guy's still got a needle in my arm trying to fix me in the joint of my elbow. And then I wake up, and the guys are laying my head down. They got my legs up in the air, and they're asking me, am I okay? And now I'm starting to feel okay. And then I start realizing that, holy shit, I just went out. But I didn't realize at the start. And they asked me, have I eaten anything? And I said, no, I'm fasting. And they said, well, you should actually be eating something that they forgot to tell me. You're supposed to eat, not fast. But regardless, I got pretty lightheaded really quick. But the main point of the story is, don't let your ego get the better of your body. You're going to get old. Those injuries that you think, when you're younger, that you can brush off and you repair, they all come back to you. And you don't want to be in the same position as me, where I've literally just spent like $15,000. No, I actually spent about $25,000 in the last 3 years just on injuries itself. And there's probably a lot more I'm not accounting for. You don't want to be in that position. And what did I win, by winning those matches or those roles? Nothing, okay? At most, I might have won a couple grand with a fight, but that situation never really popped up. Regardless, I lost a lot of money, and I'm repairing injuries that I shouldn't have because of my ego. So drop your ego, train for longevity, have fun, enjoy it. And it's a ride, that's all it is. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Please let me know your thoughts on it. I know a lot of people have a different thought approach. Everyday Pohada is a thing that Romulo Bahal likes, where it's like, go hard every day. I love Romulo Bahal. I don't subscribe to that type of training because I think it's better to be smart and have longevity. But I don't knock anyone for their own beliefs. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear that. And make sure you check out my other videos at kitdaletraining.com. Get on my Instagram, KitDaleBJJ and KitDale Official. And on Facebook, KitDale, Twitter, KitDaleBJJ. And SoundCloud is KitDaleBJJ. So make sure you're following all my stuff. Subscribe here. Love you guys. Take care.